All right, guys. So today we are looking at how you are practicing for the piano. Okay, and so in order to practice for the piano, we need to make sure, this is for our Module 7 song, we need to make sure that we have our piano, our music, and we know how to get to our specific notes. So I have here set up. I'll show you how to set up the piano, and then we'll talk about how you are going to be looking at the music and translating what is in the music onto the piano. So we have here our band lab assignment. Part of this band lab is that you are able to use a piano. Now the piano that we're able to use goes onto the keyboard right here. So I pull up my instrument down here in the bottom right hand side of things. So I press on my instrument right here on the bottom side of things, and that brings up the piano. I like to have the piano up and out from everything else, so that means that I need to undock is the command. You undock it, and then I can move it around anywhere I want inside of my window. Okay, now next up, we do want to make sure that you are pressing this button right here to get into octave 4, at least for now. Okay, we want to be in octave 4. Later on we might go into lower octaves, but while we're working with the treble clef, we are in octave 4. All right, so now that I have this in octave 4, it tells me which keys to press right here. Okay, if I want this note right here, I press a Z. And you can see on the screen, that's my Z key. I need to be pressing on this here. Okay, now when I press the Z, it goes through. You do need to make sure that you're pressing, you have clicked on the window, the specific window for the instrument in order to get it to play. So now that I have, if I press this Z key, it will play that note. If I want to play that black key right there, then I press the S. All right, let's do that again. So if I want to play this note right here, all I need to do is press my Z key. Okay, I'm not doing anything with my mouse. That's my mouse hand. Okay, I'm not doing anything with the mouse. All I need to do is press that Z key to get it done. If I want to play this black key right there, then I press the S key. Okay, now you want to set up your hand so that you are able to play as many notes as possible. So your pinky goes on Z, ring finger goes on X, middle finger goes on C, and your V goes with your index finger. All right, so you want your pinky finger on that Z, your ring finger on the X, your middle finger on the C, and the index finger on the V. Now there is one more finger that we can use, which is your thumb on that B key. Now I can play all 5 notes using one hand. And watch as these notes go blue for me. Okay, so we saw how those notes went green. That's how I know that that specific key is pressed. Now, if I want to play more than one at a time, I can. Okay. Now I have my fingers in the right position to start playing piano on the keyboard. Next up, we want to know where the notes for the song are. Okay, so where are our specific notes on the song? Right here, I have the song all analyzed up. We have the rhythms, and what we're looking at right now are these pitches up top. So take a look here. These pitches up top, this is the purple. That's what we're looking at for the specific notes that we need. So we are looking for E4. Okay, now in order to get to E4, you need to know where your resource is. Remember, it was in Module 5 in vocabulary and vocabulary and study guide for Module 5. down all the way at the very bottom of the page. You scroll down, and then you get to this resource right here. I'm going to pop it out into a separate tab so that we can know exactly where we're at. And I'm going to move that tab over by BandLab. All right. So we know we are looking for E4. So right here, where my cursor is at right now, that is C4. Okay. Then we go up one, that would be D4, and then E4. Where those are on your piano and in BandLab are right here. We are in octave 4, so this C is C4. This one would be D4, that the X on the keyboard would be D4, and then the C on the piano would be E4. So this E4 is the first note that I play right here. Okay? That's how I get in between the two. The next one is D4. So that was our C4. This would be D4. Next step up in the alphabet. So that's our second note. So now I have first note, second note. Now I need that third note. That one is also an E4. Great. I already know where the E4 is. Now the C4. Where is the C4? That one was right at the beginning. Okay, so that is our C4. We are in octave 4. It starts with the C. So if you click over here on this pitch thing, it will show us where C4 is, where C5 is, where C6 is. So C4, D4, E4. Okay? And then if you click on that pitch thing again, it takes away the pitch and it shows you which note or which key to press to get that note going. Okay, and I can go back over to pitch and I see it getting pressed as I press my different keys. Now we know how to find our specific keys on the keyboard. We know that we have octave 4. We know how to view the pitches and which keys we press. So now I'm going to keep it on the pitches because that's the layer of thinking that you should be thinking about, is the pitches, not which key do I press. Hopefully you get to that point. Okay, so right now we're thinking about the pitches for this specific song. We have E4, D4, E4, C4, right? That's our measure 5 and measure 6. Then measure 7 and measure 8 are exactly the same. So if I'm practicing, I practice all of that all at once. So I'm going to take away that spotlight, and now you get to see E, D, E, C. Okay, here we go. E, D, E, C. E, D, E, C. Okay, and it's those notes in that rhythm. So let's take a quick look at the rhythm itself. It's 1 beat here, 2 beats here, 1 beat here, then 4 beats there. If I count the rhythms, it's 1, 2, 4, 1. Okay, that's our pattern. Measures 5 and 6. Measures 7 and 8 will also be the same. Okay, so we need to make sure that we're keeping the rhythm consistent. So that is 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 1. 1, 2, 4, 1. And you notice with my voice, I am keeping the pulse of the beat. That is really important to keep your track of exactly where that beat is. Okay. Now let's take a look at this. Will be for measures 9 through the end. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay. Measure 15, you have a rest. So we are not worrying about practicing a rest. When you perform it, you want to make sure that you do keep track of the rest. But while we're practicing, we don't worry about the rest because we take care of that later. Okay, so here we go. E4 is right there. This is the same as measure 5. So here we go. 2, 3, 4. Remember, this one is an F4, so that one would be right here. Okay, and I know it's a step up from the E. If I remember where it's at on my keyboard, that's a V. Okay, so that's my F right here. I press down on this V key right here. Okay, so now let's take a look at the next measure. This is measures 11 and 12. And that's E4, D4, E4, and E4. Okay, so here I go. Okay. E, D, E, E, 2, 3, 4 beats on that E. Okay. So now let's look at this last one. That one is A4. A4 would be right. All right, so E4 would be right here on this C. Our F4 is right there. B4 is right here. And then that would be A4. Let's double check it. It's right there in between the 3 black keys, in between the upper 2 of the 3 black keys. That would be A4. So which key is that? That would be our in key. Okay, so I press in and it plays that note. Okay. And if you want extra points, play that in with your thumb when you're going in the music. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 beats. Then we have 4 beats of rest. So let's practice that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, off. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's how long I press and hold that key. That's a total of 8 beats, and I count it in sets of 2 sets of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Okay, those are all of our notes for this second part. Let me show you it being played in time. E, D, 2, E, F, 2, 3, 4, E, D, 2, E, E, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, off, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that's exactly how I play this song using that keyboard. Okay, and you have your eyes up here on the notes as you're reading it, and you have your fingers playing these keys on your keyboard. Right, so over there on the keyboard, right here on the keyboard where you can see my hand. Okay, that's where the keys are going to be, and that's where you play it from. Remember, be better than you were yesterday.